Hi, welcome to a new episode of Food, Medicine, and Lives. Before I introduce our guest for today, let me do some housekeeping before we start. Sorry, friends, I think I went offline. So let's start again. So let me introduce Shalini Soni today from a very, very successful corporate career to a health coach. What changed in her life that she left her enterprising corporate career and is here to help women like us who are menopausal, premenopausal, or are suffering from hormonal issues. Welcome, Shalini, and it's very lovely to have you today with me.
Thank you, Dr. Preeti. I am so humbled myself to be here on your channel.
Thank you. So, Shalini, I think all the viewers have a lot of interest in knowing why did you quit your corporate job?
Why did I quit my corporate job?
Yes.
I quit my corporate job actually, maybe, to follow my passion and at the same time, certain events in life that led me to this place where I am today. आई थिंक इट्स नो डिफरेंट देन एनीवन एल्स. कई लोग सिर्फ पैशन को फॉलो करते हैं, यहाँ पर पैशन था और उसके बाद लाइफ ने पुश किया कि नहीं यहाँ पर जाना है. सो दैट इज व्हाई आई एम हियर.
Great. So, Shalini, what you are trying to say is when universe has a plan for you, it keeps giving you hints. And I've read somewhere someone said that only smart people take those hints and walk on that path.
या दैट इज सो वेरी ट्रू. पर कई बार ऐसा होता है कि ये हिंट्स जो होते हैं बड़े प्लेजेंट नहीं होते, बड़े अनप्लेजेंट होते हैं.
Right. So you're very right because you know what? I think 2 days back I had Dr. Praveen Saxena, who is an expert with managing autistic children, right? He said a line which touched somewhere here, and with your permission, I will share it. He said, having an autistic child is not a problem. It's a bliss because God thought that you are capable of managing that child.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? So, yes, you are right. Sometimes good things come in very bad versions.
Yeah.
Right? But I think that's when we as human change.
Yeah, that is the reason, I'm a fan of resilience. So you will also see that I I am a resilience coach because that's what I say, that when the adversity arises, what you make out of it and how fast do you quickly bounce back to the position or even to a stronger position is the resilience inside you.
Exactly. And I don't talk about resilience too much, but I definitely believe that it is not the situation,
Yeah.
it is your response to the situation, right? And a little of spiritualism, which I do, has taught me one thing is any situation in life, I know it's very difficult, but any situation in life, your only purpose is to stay happy in that situation.
Happy and responsive.
Exactly, happy and responsive. So, Shalini, tell me something about your story. What happened?
So, for today's session specifically, I want to speak about one story. और उसमें भी मैं आपसे मतलब it's quite an example of if you've heard that thing which is called a stitch in time saves nine.
Definitely.
Yeah? So it's my story is a perfect example of there me being in a pit for 1 year took me almost 9 years to reach back to the same position. So I will start it from the place that what where I was before this 1 year started. So before this 1 year started in my life, I would like to describe myself at that point of the time like in the pink of my physical health, super fit, perfect body, perfect weight, uh, bursting with energy. So not only just like energetic, I would say bursting with energetic. So
We can see your energy now also.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. और उस वक्त मेरा रूटीन क्या होता था आई वॉज वर्किंग एज यू मेंशन दैट आई वॉज इन अ कॉर्पोरेट जॉब आई was working for a multinational company into an IT sector. So मेरा रूटीन होता था सुबह 5 बजे शुरू हो जाता था. I would get up, I would go for my meditation आधा घंटा पौना घंटा थोड़ा सा कुछ रीड किया. That was the time it was like कि मुझे recharge करना है अपने आप को. उसके बाद regular routine. I have my children at that point of the time were 7 years and 13 years. So किचन में जाओ खाना बनाओ टिफिन पैक करो उनका बैग पैक करो उनको उठाओ उनको बोलो भाई बच्चों अब खाओ उनके साथ बैठ के खिलाओ और फिर एक को रेडी करा बस स्टॉप पे छोड़ के आया वापस आया दूसरे के साथ दोबारा से सेम साइकिल शुरू किया उसको जाके छोड़ के आया वापस घर आया और अब खुद के लिए ये साइकिल शुरू कर दिया. सो इन बिटवीन दिस टाइम मैं यहाँ से अब दोनों को छोड़ के जब घर पे आई अपना सब पैक करके आई वुड हिट द जिम और वहाँ पे 15 मिनट 20 मिनट 25 30 35 जितना भी उस दिन अवेलेबल है आई वुड वर्कआउट एंड फ्रॉम देयर आई वुड गो स्ट्रेट टू माई ऑफिस. ऑफिस में जाके जब भी मैं अपना लैपटॉप उठाती थी और अपना ये बैग उठाती थी पैक करे हुए टिफिन का आई वुड यूज टू आई वाज लाइक इन ऑ ऑफ माई सेल्फ कि यार वाओ हाउ एम आई मैनेजिंग सो मेनी थिंग्स एट द सेम टाइम एंड इट वाज लाइक एवरी डे वाज लाइक अ पैट ऑन माई बैक that yes I am able to deal with so many things just because of how with my multitasking with my ability to get up early think like कि नहीं मुझे अपने ऊपर भी इन्वेस्ट करना है और अलार्म्स. सो बेसिकली मेरे लाइफ जो थी अलार्म्स टू डू लिस्ट और मल्टीटास्किंग इसके बेसिस पे आई वाज डूइंग ऑल दिस थिंग. जाने के बाद भी वही रूटीन शुरू हो जाता था खेलने लेके जाओ एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर कराओ होमवर्क देखो सब कुछ. तो समवेयर लाइक सुबह 5 बजे से जो शुरू हुआ वो रात के 11 बजे तक रूटीन होता था. 11 बजे जो सोए वो सुबह 5 बजे ऐसा शुरू किया. बट देन दिस पॉइंट ऑफ द टाइम a big event happened into my life. I would not get into the details of the event because हर एक की लाइफ में events होते हैं, health issues आ जाते हैं, death in the family हो जाता है, financial crisis आ जाते हैं, कुछ relationship issues हो जाते हैं. So some kind of an event happened into my life that kind of really just rocked me. It kind of shook me, totally shook me. So at that point of the time, I was like, more than being physically, it affected me mentally. I was exhausted mentally and I was like drained out emotionally. And as a result, मेरा जो वो मोटिवेशन होता था कि मैं एक रूटीन फॉलो करती थी अपने लिए प्रेयर ले लिया या वर्कआउट ले लिया या खाने के लिए इतना टाइम अपना इन्वेस्ट किया वो मोटिवेशन कहीं गायब. And as a result, And this motivation was taken over by cravings. I started to crave sugar. I started to crave salty, fried, and cakes and pastries, तला हुआ ये सब वैसे भी मुझे पसंद है पहले भी खाती थी but this time I was literally craving for that. Now fast forward 1 year, situation came back to the original self, but I was not there. So in this 1 year, I had gained about 8 to 10 kgs of weight. More than the weight, the issue was that my mental setup was not there where I was before. I tried going back, started to resume my routine, my rituals, but I just could not. कितना कोशिश किया लेकिन it did not happen. And the sad part is that I was more focusing on what I could experience or what the other people could experience around me was weight. I could feel the energy. At the same time, what was making a difference to me was my level of inspiration, my level of motivation, which was totally missing. Now, during this time only, in this 1 year, I found that my periods, they were like from 4 days to 2 days हो गए. और मुझे और तो ज़्यादा कुछ ट्रबल्स पहले कभी होते नहीं थे बट नाउ आई स्टार्टेड टू हैव सम हेडेक्स महीने में एक या दो बारी. लेकिन आप उससे पूछो जिसको कि कभी हेडेक नहीं हुआ 40 साल तक, उसको महीने में 2 बारी हेडेक्स हो जाए उसके लिए तो बहुत खराब हो गया. Then I started having sleep issues. I was not able to get a proper sleep. I was having a disturbed sleep. रात में एक दो बारी उठना ऐसा. Again same thing. जो कभी earlier I used to just hit bed और सुबह अलार्म बजती थी तभी मुझे नींद खुलती थी और अभी like I had problems. Not only that, इसके साथ साथ what I found that my cholesterol levels were rising. My body composition changed. I had more fat than muscles, and that too the visceral fat. I was collecting more weight in my abdominal region. My, I said cholesterol levels were rising. My HbA1c levels were hovering between pre-diabetic and diabetic at the same time. So all the symptoms of metabolic syndrome to a person just within 1 year. This was a big tragic thing that happened to me. और
Especially
यहाँ
for a woman who was a health freak and
exactly,
who really thought and worked like a superwoman,
exactly. So
right?
this was
I
like a
can
whole,
understand how traumatic this would have been.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And before we move forward, Shalini, I think you used the term visceral obesity, visceral fat. For viewers who don't understand visceral fat, could you elaborate on that and then tell us what happened after that?
So visceral fat is somewhere that where we started to collect the fat more around our organs in the abdominal region, which is very dangerous. You know, where it is leads, where it can lead to the heart, even to the serious issues like cardiovascular issues amongst women when they are passing through this phase. So, what I did not say or what I did not mention into the story is that when my periods changed from 4 days to 2 days, it was an indication that I was entering into the perimenopause. And the life event plus this phase was combining collectively to create this big havoc on my body and on my mind and on my emotions. So it was just not a physical thing, it was a mental and the emotional aspect. And the worst or the sad part is that even myself, I was a health freak, but I did not know at that point of the time the nuances of the details like this. So what I only saw was weight. What I only kind of paid my attention was on the headaches. But it was again like होते हैं कभी कभी ठंडा गर्म हो गया होगा. No, this is the ways हम चीज़ों को कैसे इग्नोर करते हैं. ठंडा गर्म हो गया होगा. कुछ ज़्यादा सोच लेते हो आप इस बारे में. टीवी ज़्यादा देख लिया, रात को नींद नहीं आई तो सर दर्द हो गया. But these are the things that we should not ignore. And I continued to ignore them. And I put only my attention only on the weight. और मैं सिर्फ weight की तरफ focus करती रही और फिर वहाँ से व्हाट डू आई से, कैलोरी डेफिशिएंसी, कितना कैलोरीज कम करो, वेट के ऊपर फोकस करो, ईट लेस, वर्कआउट मोर, वहाँ से वो प्रोसेस शुरू हो गया। और जितना मैं ये चीज़ करती थी, आई वॉज नॉट गेटिंग द रिजल्ट। Once upon before this thing happened, I used to be proud that my body is so responsive कि कभी कभी इधर उधर हुआ तो थोड़ा सा आपने adjust किया and my body responds so well. But here now, my body really stopped responding.
I'm sure a lot of women who are listening to this can relate to this very, very, very closely. Because I think about, if not everybody, 70% women have gone through this if they are of this age.
True,
Right?
and
And you are
misunderstood.
so right that we are so unaware. We don't know how to think about this. We don't know the basic cause of this. And we just keep struggling, trying to exercise more, eat less, and miss all the fun in our lives.
Absolutely, absolutely. So life मतलब कभी जैसे मैंने कभी वेट के बारे में सोचा नहीं था, और अब मोस्टली मेरा जो माइंड था दैट वाज होवरिंग अराउंड कि यार मैं वेट को कैसे कम करूं। आई वाज लाइक, आई वाज अवॉइडिंग टू बी क्लिक्ड, मेरी फोटो ना खींचे, है ना। फ्रेंड्स के घर जा रहे हैं तो यार नहीं जाओ, जाएंगे तो खाना खाना खाने का मन करता है। आप कितने दिन तक के लिए अपने आप को रोक सकते हो? देन फाइनली द विल पावर टेक्स ओवर, and this now I know that I drained myself so much of the willpower during those days just to fight myself with the food, which was so wrong.
So we have so many people to fight with, but you were also fighting with the food.
Exactly.
I really like what you said, fight with food. I think a lot of us do it and we don't realize that we are fighting with food.
And imagine घर में हो, आप सबके लिए खाना बना रहे हो
और
और
अपने लिए
यार,
नहीं खा रहे हो।
और खाना ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं पा रहा था बिकॉज विल पावर तो थी नहीं कि बना रहे हो तो खा रहे हो। तो ओनली थिंग वाज कि खाना मत बनाओ, बट दैट वाज जस्ट नॉट अ पॉसिबिलिटी।
Right, right. Great.
और
So, Shalini, yes, tell something more. What happened? Yes.
here I just want to highlight this thing. Lately, not lately, 3-4 years back, I read somewhere. I'm also very fond of reading books where I said that we only have X amount of willpower. Okay, इतनी ही विल पावर है, आपके पास इतनी विल पावर है, अब आप डिसाइड करो उसको कहाँ पर खर्च कर देते हो। So there are so many other important things in life where you would like to use your willpower and not fighting with your own self, restricting yourself from the food. So this is what now I tell the women around जिनसे मैं मिलती हूँ who are struggling in the same phase like me, कि भाई अपनी विल पावर को don't use it especially to fight with the food.
Right. So, Shalini, I strongly support you on this because I tell people willpower is not enough for these things. You have to go to the cause,
Yes.
balance it, and you'll be good. For example, you mentioned somewhere during your sharing your story that you had salt cravings,
Yes.
right? And my experience is generally you have salt cravings when you are going through adrenal fatigue.
That definitively was a possibility for me to go because
Exactly.
जब हम पेरीमेनोपॉज मेनोपॉज के थ्रू जाते हैं, we are generally talking about estrogen, progesterone, and these hormones, but we are not speaking about cortisol. We are not speaking of insulin at that point of the time.
Exactly. So what happens is, and I could actually sense what was happening behind, in your body. So then, Shalini, how did you overcome this? Well, for a woman like you, who is a perfectionist, who thinks whatever I've thought, I have to complete it, I have to finish it, whatever might happen, right? At least that's how I know you. ठीक है.
This is
I am
the
sure it would have been very, very difficult for you to be overweight, to be not sleeping properly, to be fighting with your own self, fighting with food, not meeting friends. So, what did you do?
so यहाँ पर you say that I don't stay on or I don't accept the things which I don't like or to be with them. There's one more part which is very important, which is of me is that if something is not giving me a result, I try to change. तो मैं उस चीज के साथ अटक के उसके ऊपर ही नहीं चलती जाती बिकॉज आई ऑल्सो रेड सम इट्स अ सिंपल थिंग कि अगर आपको किसी चीज का एक एग्जाम्पल देती हूँ अगर आप एक केक बना रहे हो अगर आप उसकी एग्जैक्टली सेम रेसिपी फॉलो करते हो इतना शुगर डलेगा इस प्रपोर्शन में डलेगा इतनी देर बीट करोगे इतना ये डालना है तो आपका केक हमेशा उसी फ्लेवर का है इफ यू वांट टू चेंज द रिजल्ट you have to change something in the ingredients or the process.
Very beautiful, Shalini, because you know how I say this science background, jata nahi hai bilkul. You know who is a foolish person? Einstein said this actually. Who is a foolish person?
Who does the same thing again and again, expecting a different result.
Exactly. So, and most of us do that only. You know why? Because we are stuck here. As a human being, our mind doesn't let us change.
Yeah.
माइंड का काम क्या है ना, आराम करना. और वो आराम तभी कर सकता है जब हम किसी चीज को हैबिट बना के उसी को और बार 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 करते रहे.
Right.
एनी न्यू हैबिट वी वांट टू डेवलप, इसको थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा काम करना पड़ता है.
Absolutely.
एंड ये बहुत शातिर है.
बहुत आराम पसंद है और उसको एनवायरनमेंट भी ऐसा मिल जाता है. आप
एग्जैक्टली.
हमारे पास कितनी सारी कॉन्फ्लिक्टिंग थ्योरीज रहती हैं. एक थ्योरी आती है उसकी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में दूसरी थ्योरी आ जाती है फिर एक तीसरी आ जाती है फिर चौथी आ जाती है. अब आप इन 4-5 में से कौन सी चीज को एक्सेप्ट करोगे जो आपको ज्यादा कन्वीनियंट लगे.
एग्जैक्टली. जो क्लोजेस्ट टू व्हाट यू आर डूइंग है, जिसमें सबसे कम चेंज है. Because though change is the only constant in life, but still we are afraid of any changes.
So यहाँ पे वही बोल रही हूँ ना कि our mind and our emotions and so many things our mind plays gives us logics to follow that.
So Shalini, कौन सी ऐसी 4 things थी which came across you and which one did you choose to reverse that situation? Because I see you quite smiling, happy, and I met you recently in Dehradun and I saw that you were very slim, very, well toned. So you are not the person you are talking about now. So how did you change this picture?
पहले तो मैं आपको ये बताती हूँ कि मैंने और क्या क्या ट्राई करा which is really so much fun. मतलब I would say कि started with GM diet, Dikshit diet, low carb, low fat, fasting, water fasting. Then एक तो incident ऐसा था कि somebody we saw a result coming on someone and I visited a doctor, I won't name. उनके पास गई तो उन्होंने बोला कि हाँ ठीक है आपको ये करना है लेकिन आपको 2 महीने तक सिर्फ कुकुम्बर खाना है, खीरा खाना है और सफरचंद खाना है. सफरचंद महाराष्ट्र में एप्पल को कहते हैं. और मैंने वो 1 हफ्ता सिर्फ खीरा और सफरचंद खा के पूरा सफर किया. I would really so my sufferings have been really too much. But until I came across functional medicine, then I realized that I was going so much against my own body. I was during those days when I was trying to recover, I started gymming. 1 घंटा जिम करती थी सुबह में, शाम में 1 घंटा वॉक करती थी और खाने के बारे में सोचती रहती थी. And always that thought used to come to my mind कि मैं ऐसा करती रहूंगी और मैं सिर्फ 3-4 किलो के बीच में ही घूमती जा रही थी. 3 किलो बढ़ गया, 3 किलो कम हो गया, 3 किलो बढ़ गया, 3 किलो कम हो गया, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन कि कब आपने अपनी विल पावर को लूज छोड़ा. और ये हमेशा एक थॉट आता था कि ये इस चीज को मैं कब तक सस्टेन कर पाऊँ? That thought was always coming and hitting my mind कि would I ever be able to sustain say another 5 years or 6 years down the line कि 2 घंटे या 2.5 घंटे मैं अपने कैलोरीज को यूज अप करने में लगा रही हूँ और मैं अपने फूड की कैलोरीज को काउंट करते जा रही हूँ. इज इट्स अ सस्टेनेबल ऑप्शन? तो वो हमेशा मुझे डिस्करेज करता था और इट वॉज ऑलवेज एनकरेजिंग मी टू लुक फॉर द राइट सोल्यूशन. And I came across the right solution when I came across functional medicine. And when while my certification process, then I realized that I was going against my body. I was not working to feed my hormones or to restore or balance my hormones. Instead, with so much of uh, thinking and working, I was in fact creating more imbalance. I was going against. मैं और cortisol और ये सब balance जो है और खराब कर. So then I kind of uh, followed the process, the protocol which was needed. So first and foremost, what I did was that I stopped my intense workout and I switched to the milder forms of the exercise, which was like yoga, या फिर थोड़ा सा walk, and I started eating consciously, no calorie counting. That was like boom, go out of the window. And up, let me just feed my hormones, let me feed my soul. It was more like that.
I feel calorie counting is the biggest enemy of our health.
Absolutely. Now I know
Right.
that.
Perfect. Yes. So it took you how long after you started doing this, Shalini, to come back to your original self, which you love, which you are proud of, which you are happy with, which is actually the Shalini wants and is, and feels good about.
Yes. So when I got to know the right process, अभी भी I would say कि process था मेरे पास, टेक्निक थी, लेकिन because of so many failures, trials, and not getting the result, the inspiration was still low. So I was looking for some mates or friends around me कि नहीं हम लोग चलो सब मिलके इस चीज को करते हैं. And fortunately, I had groups. So I made some groups in my community और उन लोगों के साथ मैंने किया. And amazingly, the results were like super quick. 2 महीने में रिजल्ट्स दिखने शुरू हो गए, 3 महीने में और आ गया, 4 महीने में और आ गया. And it was like super easy then. And this was the time when I would also say कि जब कोविड था, so there was no means also कि आप बाहर जाके ज्यादा वॉक नहीं कर पा रहे थे और बहुत सारा उस वक्त भी स्ट्रेस था. लेकिन even in the COVID days when this changed, I followed a different way to deal with my issue, and it was the same thing. I was also telling all the community that how to do, because I was not the only one. There are so many women around us, and every one of us saw the results. Every one of us, and not only in terms of the body weight, also the changes in the cholesterol levels. HbA1c में changes आने शुरू हो गए. The headaches were gone. The other people who were having the issues of hot flashes or night sweats, वहाँ पे उनकी frequency कम.
Sleep better हो गई, relationships अच्छे हो गए, right? I am sure all this happened because I can see all this on your face. Right.
खुद से
So Shalini,
relationship अच्छा हो गया.
exactly. So Shalini, I'm quite happy to hear, that, and I understand you have missed certain information in between because, of course, they're very, very personal, right? But I really like the transformation you made in your life. Now you are a health coach. You are no more in corporate life.
Yes, yes.
What are your plans for future?
So this experience of mine inspired me basically कि नहीं, first and foremost I really want to work with the women who are in the age group of 35 to 55 or 60 who are going through this transformation. You would be amazed. I you are a doctor, you won't be amazed. I was amazed when I found out that the average age of menopause worldwide is 51 years, and for
Right.
India it is 46 years. Which,
Exactly.
which came to me so much of contradictory. कि
We
हम
don't
लोग
take care of ourselves.
Yes, and again, this is again more majorly for our viewers that these changes they start to happen into our body almost 8 to 10 years earlier. So almost if we say that from the late 30s, women can expect to have these uncomfortable symptoms or changes happening into their body, into their emotions, in their emotions, and which are also like start to hijack their mind, I would say.
Shalini, yesterday I was talking to one of my very close friends, right? And she's such a soothing female that it's always a pleasure to speak to her. And you know what she said? She said, Doc, I think I'm going through menopause because I myself can't predict my moods. I myself don't know whom I'm going to scream on, when I'm not going to feel good, when I'm going to feel good, when I'm going to sleep, how many days I'm going to bleed, how many days I'll have spotting. She says, I don't know for how long this premenopause is going, but it's really shook me hard,
Yeah,
right?
it does. It really does. Uh,
Exactly.
Now, when I research or when I am reading so much, I see that there are countries like UK and Japan who are taking this issue very, very seriously.
Right?
They are like kind of thinking of considering it as same as the people who are being treated with disability for during these years because it can be so painful. The sad part is that there is not much awareness about it, which is the biggest.
Especially in India. Especially
Yeah,
in India.
yeah. And I also read, which I would like to mention here, that menopause is the second biggest thing that happens to women after the childbirth. This was surprise for me.
No, exactly. You imagine, no, our lifespan is increasing. We are talking about now 120 years, right? 100 years, 80 years. We have menopause at 45, 46, 50, 56 years. Half of our life, we live in that space. And if that space is going to be so torturous or so difficult,
Yeah,
then what's the point?
it it's more like that we are adding years to the life, and
Right.
at the same time we have to also add life to our years.
Exactly, Shalini. So, Shalini, for the viewers here, what are you launching something? Whatever you have, whatever has worked for you, can other women contact you and learn that from you? What is the way forward?
So I have designed a special protocol for myself, for my program, for the people, the women who join me. I'm beginning with one on a bigger scale, one program of 5 weeks, which is called Magic Menopause Care. And next month, I'm going to launch that program. And
Wow.
there, I will first start it with the awareness. As I said, that the awareness is missing. So I want to do a master class, which is 1.5 hour, explaining the women what they can expect during this time, and then what is it that they can do. So it's about what I am really wanting to do here is to create that awareness and let the women know that they can really do something about it. So if there is nothing that can be done, it's okay. Let's not waste time about it. Try to learn even. But there is a choice here. There is so much that can be done. There are so many studies, research, and published which are accepted by the medical community now that women can change their experience of these 10 to 15 years and what comes after that. And this is what I want to propagate in my program that I'm going to launch next month.
Congratulations, Shalini, on such a great initiative. I'm sure a lot of women will get help from this, and I'm sure you will handhold them too if they ask for that. Right? I have a question here from Mithu Saha. मैम मेरे यूट्रस ओवरी अर्ली एज में ऑपरेट हुए थे प्लीज ईस्ट्रोजन डेफिशिएंसी कैसे ठीक करें बताएं सो
I would let you, maybe you take the answer to that.
राइट सो मीतू बेसिकली वील हैव टू फर्स्ट चेक ईस्ट्रोजन डेफिशिएंसी है कि प्रोजेस्टेरॉन डेफिशिएंसी है कि एड्रिनल फटीग है because the cycle from top to bottom has to be studied. You must consult a functional medicine doctor who does bioidentical hormone therapy. Like I also do bioidentical hormone therapy, so you can reach out to me also after this show. And once we have your values, we can help you know whether lifestyle is enough or whether we will want to start you on bioidentical hormone therapy. I hope this helps. And we are always available. Write to us and we will answer back to you. Thank you, Shalini, for your time. It was lovely listening to you. How we take such things for granted and we think this is part of life. This suffering has to happen. It should happen. So thinking out of the box, making effort to make sure that you don't lose any day, any month of your life, and live and cherish your womanhood is an amazing story. I loved listening to it, and I wish you all the best for your upcoming program. I'm sure a lot of women will join you, and you will really be able to help them live a very happy, healthy, balanced life.
Thank you, Dr. Preeti. Thank you for having me here and giving me this platform and share my experience with so many women who are listening to us or who would continue to listen to us. So, thank you for having me here. And it
Thank
was a
you.
delight speaking to you. It is a delight speaking.
Perfect. Likewise. And have an awesome day. Thank you.
Good day to you also. Bye-bye.
Bye.